This is one of the more fun mashups, or is it matchups, I've had the luxury to do for the fast lane car. Over here we have a 1970 240Z, a Datsun. And over here we have, well, a direct line descendant of this car, the 2015 370Z Nismo edition. So let's take them for a ride, let's mash them or match them up and see what we can find out by driving 40 years or more of Z's back to back. And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Hey guys, I'm here with Frank Fuentes.
Fuentes, correct?
Yes, and we are now in, is this 2015 or is it 2014?
This is a 2015, yes.
2015 Nismo 370. How cool is that?
It's actually 370Z Nismo.
Sorry, yes. And he is a product expert, so he is the man to correct me when I make such blatantly stupid mistakes. Today we're talking about this guy, so let's talk about the facts. How much horsepower do we have?
Horsepower and torque is carryover 350 horsepower, 276 pounds per feet of torque. So the car, the major features of the car that were changed are the suspension,
yep.
Shocks were changed, spring rates were changed, there's additional bracing in the car. We have a brand new body kit. The body kit was redesigned in order to have a more we don't want to say mainstream feel, but there was a lot of negatives that we received feedback on from the old body kit, primarily with visibility because of the big tail wheel.
Yeah.
That was one of the
wheel tail. See, I'm going to correct you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Now we're even.
There you go. So that was a big thing in the car, but engineering has told us that there was no sacrifice in performance.
It's very quiet. Huge exhaust pipes, but nevertheless very quiet. Oh yeah, there we go. So the engine is the same as a regular Z, but it's all about suspension and aerodynamics. And
well, it's not the same as the regular Z. It's a carryover from the 14 Nismo.
Nismo, yeah.
There's 18 horsepower improvement over the regular Z. Regular Z has 332. Nismo has 350.
So we've got more power. We've got more torque.
Correct.
We've got more whale tail.
No more whale tail.
How popular are these? Do people love the Nismos?
Yes, actually, in the U.S. market, we launched the car at Z Days, which is a huge enthusiast event, and you're going to make the right here.
Okay.
In that event, you know, you have everything there as far as tuners, pure enthusiasts, collectors, and the reception for this new model was overwhelmingly positive.
Oh yeah, and there's the speed limit. I love how it matches the downshifts, how it blips the throttle. That's such a cool feature. It feels like driving a race car.
Yeah, that's one of our more popular features. It eliminates any mistake that the driver can make as far as throttle input. You can turn it off, so if you're a purist, you can turn it off and you can do your own heel to toe because that's what it's mimicking.
You know, it's funny. I was a kid when Car and Driver and all these magazines were in their heyday, and all the writers would always talk about heel and toe and how how important that is. And I remember as a high school kid, I would always try to do that, and I could never accomplish it. And now that I'm older, I'm like, that's just silly. Unless you're a race car driver, you're never going to be doing that, right? And they would always complain, oh, you can't do heel toe, it's not close enough apart, not far enough apart, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? That's got to be so into the race scene to actually be doing that, because let's face it, most people use these cars as, you know, cool everyday drivers, right?
Correct.
Right? And if you're actually heel towing this thing going to the 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee,
Well,
it's probably not the right use of that technique.
Yeah, if you're into drift racing, maybe you will drift into the parking lot at 7-Eleven. I don't know.
Or it could be that I'm not good at it.
No,
Yeah, and the shifter, it's really tight.
Yeah,
really close.
Short throw shifters.
It feels like there's just a lot of power on tap, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm flooring it right now. So 6th gear doing like 55, not a lot, but man, you take this into 4th. Oh yeah, now we're getting to the power band. Now you can really start to, you know, really start to feel it. Sounds phenomenal. Straight 6. There's just something about a straight 6.
Yep.
Oh, and the brakes aren't as good.
The brakes are not as good, no. I'm not sure if it brakes a power assist or not, so.
I'm betting they're not.
Let's find out what kind of horsepower this thing has.
Yeah, see ya. Yeah, thank God for the internet.
You're good.
We're good. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, sorry. No rev matching there.
No rev matching there.
Yep. All right, here we go. Oh, it's so much more direct.
Yep.
So much more direct. Look at this little thin steering wheel. All right, the gear is a little bit longer throw and takes a little bit more patience. It takes a little bit more skill on this guy, but there's only 4 gears, so that makes it a little easier.
So yeah.
Have you found the horsepower yet and the torque?
That is,
you know what? But this car is so much lighter that it feels, I'm not sure it's as fast, but it feels as quick, if you know what I'm talking about.
That's what I was commenting on earlier. You know, we're talking about all the technology and the power that the other car has, but most people are not aware of is that cars just by function are heavier nowadays. This car is about 2,500 pounds, so the power to weight ratio is going to be equal, probably maybe even better than the existing car.
And, missed that one up. And check this out. Oops. Just took apart half the dashboard. Check this out, guys. Old school lighter. Now I'll be smoking those electronic cigarettes. You don't need it, but back in the day, you had to have a lighter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is so much fun. And you know what? It's comfortable. Look, I got plenty of headroom.
Oh, yeah.
Driving position is where you want to be, so you feel like you're really in control of the car. And I love that long hood, looking down the front of that. It's such a nice touch. And of course, you know, a lot of this interior still is in the current Z, right? These round gauges have always been a Z trademark.
Right.
And oh, so what if you've gone from a straight 6 to a V6? You've also had turbochargers. The only thing you haven't had, I think, are superchargers.
We have not had superchargers, no.
All right, so now that I got you,
so the car has 151 horsepower and 146 pounds per foot of torque.
Feels faster.
Let's see if they have the. I was wrong.
Right.
The weight of the car is 2,300 pounds.
So it's even lighter than we thought.
Lighter than I said.
I keep wanting to go to like a 5th and a 6th gear. That's the only thing that's missing. All right, now that I've got you all schmoozed up in the old car, what's happening? What's the next one going to be? Is it going to be a supercharger? What's coming up? Can you give us some hints of what's happening in the next?
Unfortunately, no. I cannot.
Guys, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to get them.
We are in initial stages of next generation planning.
Okay.
For 370Z. So, unfortunately, there's nothing that we can share. Those are highly kept secrets. At times, they don't even share them with us. So,
just between me and you.
Yeah.
And the camera.
Nowadays, there's nothing between you and I. There's
a lot of space. We got a lot of room.
Sometimes there's always a camera somewhere. There's always an internet connection. There's always a way.
Is that what they teach you in PR school?
No.
Is that what you've learned the hard way?
Years.
Okay.
No, not the hard way. Just.
All right.
I'd like to think of myself as a technology literate kind of person.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But no, we are in the initial stages of next gen planning, and the CEO has said that there will be a next gen GTR MZ. We're just going through the process, and hopefully it'll be a great car as all the others used through the years.
I think what makes this car so significant, of course, is that it put Datsun at the time, right? This isn't the Nissan, it's a Datsun.
This is a Datsun.
It put Datsun on the enthusiast map, right? For a long time, Datsun had been building these really quirky and cool little economy cars. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you lay down a car that looks like something that should have been designed by the Italians, right? Long hood, sleek proportions. I mean, basically, you could put this up next to like a Jaguar E-Type, right? And it would hold its own.
Correct. With I don't know if most people that are familiar with the car and the history know that the car has always, the Porsche has always been the performance benchmark for the car. So for this, for example, in the era that it was released, it was considered the poor man's Porsche. Obviously, current generation, even the GTR 911 Turbo S is considered the head-to-head competitor for it. Porsche Cayman is our performance benchmark for the Z currently. So. And it brought it. I mean, that's the key. It brought it, right? It brought style, it brought comfort, it brought speed, it brought handling, and you can still feel it today. I mean, it's such a direct and linear driving experience. Of course, I do miss the power steering, but you know what? That's part of the charm of this. 42,433 miles is what's on the odometer. That's not a lot. All right, gang, I have to be completely honest with you. I like that car. My brain says that is a much better car, but my heart says this old Z is so much more fun to drive. It's direct, it's immediate. You can hear the straight six, you can smell the gas. It's just a hoot. So, if it were my money, heck, I'd get them both. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, everyday reviews. Ciao, see you next time.